Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very interesting news coming out over here when it comes to the PlayStation 5. Now, as you guys may or may not have had a chance to go and see, it kind of goes to show that America has been somewhat of the golden child when it comes to the PlayStation price points as of per recently, mainly because America is the only market that is not astronomically increasing their price points, compared to China, Japan, UK, Canada, etc. But funny enough, we actually have the biggest disappointment to as well when it comes to America, and we actually have some very intriguing information to go show you guys. And this has actually kind of somewhat upset other different regions too as well, as you guys will see on top of this, where I think at this point it just seems like everyone hates America. So, we're trying our best. Like, we like everyone else. I mean, at least for me, I know, I'm just saying. But yeah, it does seem like we have a lot of drama going on with this one, with a lot of information that Sony has just shared and has kind of been going and being spread all around over here on how America has kind of been dropping the ball and how everyone's upset with America for not having price increases, but yet again, they've kind of been failing on actually literally playing the games they have a chance to go and buy. So some very intriguing stuff to go talk about, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. The Amazon links down below, Target links down below, and Twitter and Twitch stream. And let's dive in the video. So as I've had a chance to mention, we right now as Americans have a pretty good flow. We've had a lot of really good restocks. PlayStation Direct has been up and bumping. Walmart drops, Target drops, Best Buy drops, GameStop in stores and all of that. And we also are not affected by the most recent price increase. But with all this kind of good news going on for us in America, people have been also once again even more disappointed, because it kind of seems like Americans are actually not the most committed gamers, and as well it seems like Americans are also just not really earning as many trophies as other regions. So with this, I want to call over here from Pushcore stating, Americans earn the fewest platinum trophies for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And this also ties into Asia, and European players are more so confidently up on top. So with this, and the article itself even states, maybe Americans have far too much freedom, TM, to earn platinum trophies. Because now with Sony's most recent data confirms, gamers in the USA earn the least amount of silvery blue pots on the internet. A survey of global players' trends published by Sony at this year's Computer Entertainment Developers Conference reveals that, on average, Asian and European players actually earn way more platinums overall. Now, in case you guys are curious on what this means, it basically means if you platinum a game, it means you got all the achievements, you do the hidden trophies, you check out the game, you, for lack of better terms, beat the most amount of games as most people do. Now, this is very intriguing stuff with that, because all this information came out from Sony themselves. So as we kind of go over here from the user Genki, which says, Sony Interactive Entertainment gave a presentation about the worldwide PS4, PS5, PlayStation user base at CEDEC 2022. In a year, USA users play the most amount of titles on average. Japan users, funny enough, played the least number of titles. So out of all the people out here, at least we know that United States users are the people that are playing the most. So that's actually kind of a good reason of why Sony and PlayStation has always wanted to focus on American markets, because let's just put it this way. If we at least have at an average of 10.7 titles per average user, that means that we are on average spending 10.7 titles worth of money. Also typically on higher price points, because some other regions also are lower and the price points of what they have to pay. For example, we pay $70 for a game. Maybe other regions maybe would pay $30 USD in comparison, depending on the area, region, and all of that. So as you guys can see, the USA is at 10.7 titles. EU is right behind it with 9.6 total titles. Then we also have Asian markets too as well at 8.2, which is still overall pretty good. But the one most surprising is that Japan, the home state, the home ground itself from Sony, is only at 5.9 total titles that they would typically actually go due to as well. Very intriguing to see. So it kind of seems like right now, America is obviously the big spenders. We buy the most amount of games, but it seems like when it comes to other countries, they beat the games more often. So the average playtime per title in Japan, funny enough, though, is a lot higher than other regions, as you guys can maybe see on this one, where it has Japan over here at 66.2. We have Asia itself at 25.5, USA at 28.7, and EU at 27.2. So basically the whole thing I got from this is that people in Japan may not play or buy as many games, but they're far more committed to the game that they actually go and play themselves. Like that's a lot of hours. And I mean, if you guys could also get used to the usual JRPG vibe, where the JRPG are usually longer games. I mean, obviously it's big duh based on the genre itself. Japan users also buy the most disc-only versions of full games in the survey, while the USA buy the least. Digital-only purchases percentage is over here. So you guys can see digital-only is mainly in the United States. Asia is pretty high up there too as well. EU a little bit lower, and Japan a little bit higher than EU, but these are all pretty high ratios. While the United States is the lowest. Like, you see how low this is on the full game purchases, at least in terms of disc editions. And then we have Asia itself a little bit higher, EU about the same, and Japan the highest as possible too as well. So for this, the PS trophies, Japan users have the highest average trophy percentage among the top titles, while USA has the average lowest too as well. Now, I think this is probably like the bigger topic of the video. As you guys can kind of even see, just like look at these charts. Look at those. So it kind of goes to show that Japan seems like it has the highest ratio of percentage of like full-on completion. So these are people who like 100% the game. Like you have 50 random weird trinkets you have to go and find. Japan's doing it. You go and have someone in America, yeah, they're going to say, nah, we'll buy the game. We'll be the highest buying group for sure, but we're probably not going to go and want to platinum the game. We'll get the experience, you know, whatever. We'll watch it on Twitch if we got whatever it might be. So it's crazy in my mind that it's literally has the United States at literally 1. Like, I mean, especially with us getting on average 11 games if we round up, like you would expect it to be at least like a little bit higher. You have the EU at 7, Asia at 5, and Japan itself at 17. So it really seems like from all this information that Japan is probably the most, I guess, consistent / they're like the most committed towards, they may not play as many games, but if they play the games, they're going to beat them. You're going to get the platinum trophy, and it's going to be a good experience for all of them. And this is also why I think a lot of folks are somewhat upset with the United States not having to change their price points, although that's more on the currency side. It has the United States as us, like I said, literally barely beaten the games we play. So from this information, people like say in Japan, they're like, bro, why do we have to pay more money? We're probably the most loyal to this actual like games in the first place. Like you give us God of War Ragnarok, we're going to go play that game. We're going to love that game. We're going to play every side feature and every small quest line or whatever it may be. We're going to love it. While versus in America, you'd maybe have someone who just does the main story, beats the game, doesn't care about the Valkyries or their side missions or quests or features or replaying through on harder difficulties. They don't care. Because at least based on this information, they're just going to bounce into a brand new game because they're buying way more games on average. So it makes sense on why Sony always likes to focus on the American market so much. Because as you guys can see, we like to buy games. We don't sometimes even like to fully beat the games, funny enough, but we like to buy them, and American markets make sense. But as you guys can see, all the other regions are mostly somewhat more committed towards the games, beating the games and all of that, and that's why we've had a lot more interesting folks on it. So as well on top of this too, also platinum trophies. These are just normal trophies. These are the platinum trophies over here too as well. As you guys can see, once again, the United States is at a good solid 1. It's so disappointing over there. Well, you have Japan over at 4, which is funny enough, not as big, and then 13 on Asia overall, and 12 on EU. So it just is just disappointing to see how almost kind of somewhat lackluster Americans are when it comes to all the games themselves. So basically the data categorizes Japanese players separately from Asia, and interestingly, those in the land of the rising sun have the highest completion percentages on major titles. And once again, America is in the last. Japanese gamers also play the most hours on average, though they play the fewest different games. So players in the United States average at least 10.7 different games too as well. So I'm just so intrigued on this because it explains why people are upset with America still being the American focus. It makes sense financial-wise, as I mentioned throughout the video, because we buy the most games, but it really does seem like all the other markets are, number one, not getting and receiving as many restocks, but also number two, they're more committed than the American markets usually are, and I can understand why some folks would maybe be upset because, well, at the end of the day, you want to be able to go play the games and beat the games and enjoy the games And if you don't get the restocks, then people get upset. So give me your thoughts and comments down below, as well as make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Target links and Amazon links as well. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.